Let's talk about signal order. This might be most frequently asked thing from us or from our pages or from internet, from anywhere. I will now have some pedals here. For the sake of simplicity, I will start with these four. Traditionally, normally, you would divide the effect pedals into four groups. It would be filters, gain pedals, modulation pedals, and time-based effects, which would mean delays and reverbs. So these are the four main categories that are traditionally taught as a guitar effects. And this is the order that you normally place those. Your guitar comes from here, then it travels to the amplifier. Why? Let's remember that the last pedal in the chain closest to the amp is the most audible in the chain. So more closer it is to the amp, more clear you will hear it. And this is kind of an order where you come from the guitar. You will have a filter or EQ or compressor here. That's actually on the same group. The whole idea is to having the pedals that really react on your playing dynamics. Then you would have a gain pedals. And the order, if you have more gain pedals, would be that the mildest one would be closest to the amplifier. So if you would have that really expensive vintage tube screamer, you would place it last. Because if you would put a, let's say, fuzz pedal after that, you wouldn't hear much about that tube screamer. Modulation pedals are normally placed third, and then you would have the reverbs and delays. Okay, what is the most common swap? It would be this. To have drive pedals after the modulation. So this was the original, and next swap would be this one. Better to say this one. Now you would have a filter after the distortion which cuts all the dynamics out of the wah, but it makes it sound really strong and really filter-like. Like when the drive gets into the circuit of this wah, it will sound totally different than it would be on this particular order. Okay, let's say we would have a compressor. Which one to use first? I would say the one that you get your monies from. If you are playing country, I would put the compressor first and make sure that it really interacts with your pickups. If you're a funky guy, I would suggest that you would put the wah first and make sure that it will interact directly with your guitar pickups. But let's pretend that we are the funky ones and we put the wah first. And this would be the basic order, but here comes the main point. What if you would change the order that is not traditionally agreed, or let's say that you might do a really wild thing. You might put the compressor last. This is actually a way that David Gilmour does it, and Mr. Esa Pulliainen from Finland, who's known for having this great surf-style guitar sound. Now the compressor is reacting on the repeats that are coming from this delay. And some guys, normally the reverb would be the last and then delay, but you can also place those other way around. My point is that you can actually place these however you like. Just tweak around, test. You might create something new. instead of just doing it like everybody else does, you might create totally new sounds which will inspire you to play better and maybe inspire you to compose some music that nobody ever heard. So don't stick with the rules. It's always good to know the rules, but it's even better to try to be creative instead of just asking from other people what you should do. Do it as you wish.